Welcome back. Joining me now from Napa Valley is our special guest chef, Cheryl Forberg. It's so great to have you in St. Louis.
Thanks for having me, Barbara.
Cheryl is a cookbook author. She's an award-winning chef, and she decided to follow her passion for great, healthy food, and now she is a nutritionist for The Biggest Loser. Must be really interesting.
I love it. I absolutely love my job, and it allows me to combine my background as a professional chef and a registered dietitian to create recipes that are really healthy but also scrumptious.
So we are going to make one that is a condiment that uses avocados. Very unique to do that. So tell us about your Asian avocado mayo.
Yes. I did a lot of condiment recipes in my book, Flavor First, because I found that so many Americans try to eat healthy, but they sabotage themselves with condiments because they're putting on too much mayonnaise or ketchup or really fattening salad dressing. So I tried to create some really simple condiments, and I'm going to show you one of my favorites today called Asian avocado mayonnaise.
All right, and we use an avocado.
Avocado, yes. I'm using Avocados from Mexico, which is what I always choose because they're available year-round.
Perfect.
And I like to tell people a few quick tips on how to choose an avocado. You want to be sure that it's heavy in weight for its size.
Okay.
It's blackened a little bit and has a pebbly texture, and it gives a little, but you don't want it to be too mushy because it'll be discolored and the flavor won't be at its peak.
Right.
So I've selected an avocado, and if I have one and they're not quite ripe and I want to speed it up a little bit, one of the tricks that I have, I like to share this with people at home, is that you can just put an avocado that's not quite ripe, it's still green, in a brown paper bag with an apple.
Oh,
you can use
idea.
the same trick for bananas, wrap it up, and the natural ethylene gas from the apple will speed up the ripening of the avocado.
Okay, and it takes just a day or so, right?
Just a day or so, right. So I'm going to show you how to peel and seed the avocado. So I just taken a knife and I go around the avocado like so, twist it, and voila.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Perfectly ripe. This beautiful color tells us that there's a wonderful plant chemical inside. Oops, I'm going to use a bigger knife. A plant chemical called lutein, which helps promote eye health. So I'm just going to twist the pit out.
Okay.
There we go. And now I'm going to just take a little bit of seed and I'm going to scoop this out. I like to use a large spoon like this. And I am going to see perfectly ripe avocado. I'm actually going to plop that right in the food processor like this.
When it's nice and ripe, it comes away from the skin.
Exactly.
Right?
It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I'll toss that in, and now I'm going to add a few other ingredients. I'm going to add a few tablespoons of warm water. Want to be sure it's warm. A little bit of rice wine vinegar. I like to use sushi ginger, which is available in a jar like this.
It's a little different.
It's a little different.
This
is what they
kick a flavor?
Yeah, absolutely, and has a nice little crunchy texture. They serve this in sushi bars. I like to use this in my Asian mayo. Whoops, a little bit too much, but that'll be fine. And
a little extra spice.
A little bit extra spice and crunch. A little bit of Dijon mustard. Just going to squirt that right in. I'm going to use low sodium soy sauce. I want the flavor, but not quite all the salt. And then just a little bit, about a half a teaspoon of toasted sesame oil for a really rich flavor.
Okay.
So now I'm just going to put the cover on. For heaven's sakes, there we go. Turn it on. I'm just going to blend this for a minute or so until it's perfectly smooth.
Right.
And that's it. It'll be ready.
It's very easy.
Very easy. Now this is ready to go. This makes about a cup of the Asian avo mayo. And I really love this because if you were using regular mayonnaise, it has 90 calories in a tablespoon, and this has 25.
That's a huge savings of calories. And
Huge.
extra flavor to go along with it, too.
Better flavor, all high-quality calories, nothing processed here. You could use this right away, or you could cover this tightly and use it in a day or two. It'll keep.
That'll be great. Now, the recipe for this is in the Everybody Cooks magazine and also in Cheryl's cookbook, Flavor First.
And you can also find this recipe and other tips at theamazingavocado.com.
Great. Okay, well, we're going to be making a burger bar, putting that together. And we're going to do a couple of burgers, but not your traditional beef burgers. So let's start with the turkey burger.
Absolutely.
See what we do with that.
This is called a Mexican turkey burger. It's
Okay.
loaded with different flavors, and it's not your everyday turkey burger, that's for sure. So we're starting with a pound of lean turkey breast, and we're going to add a lot of other seasonings, so it's going to be really loaded with flavor. The first ingredient I'm actually adding is quinoa. I'm going to add a half a cup of cooked quinoa.
So that's something that we're familiar with as a grain, but I don't know that we use it so much. Is it like a binder, or what's the function for it?
It can be, but I like to use it because it has a nice texture, a nutty flavor, and it's loaded in protein.
Okay.
So I'm just going to add a half a cup of cooked quinoa. This is what it looks like when it's uncooked. It has, very easy to prepare. Use 2 parts of liquid to 1 part of quinoa. Really easy.
And it's great. Okay.
So I've got the quinoa in here. I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of shredded, reduced fat Mexican blend cheese. And I don't like to use the fat-free cheeses. A lot of people choose that when they're trying to lose weight, but having a reduced fat blend is still decreased calories, but it melts really nicely. It has wonderful flavor and texture, and everybody loves cheese.
Well, yes, and this way you're not feeling like you're giving up things, you're just changing your habits a little bit.
That's exactly what this is all about. Right, small changes.
I love that philosophy.
And I'm going to add a tablespoon of Mexican or fajita seasoning, so it has a little bit of chili powder, cumin, really, really delicious, loaded with flavor.
Okay.
And I am always trying to help people increase their vegetable consumption. So we've got some chopped veggies here. We're adding a little bit of chopped cilantro, a little bit of garlic. You could use red or white or yellow onions. I'm using red today. And you could also use yellow or green bell pepper, but I'm using red today.
Okay.
There we have it. It's a red day. So now I'm just going to mix these up real quickly with a fork. And one of the great things about this recipe is going to make 6 4-ounce burgers. We start off with a pound of meat, but when we've added all these other really nutritious, scrumptious, colorful ingredients, we're going to wind up with 1.5 pounds. So that'll give us 6 4-ounce burgers.
All right.
And if that's too much for your household, you could form them all and just freeze some.
Oh, that's really nice. So when you can pull them out of the freezer, it makes it easy to get a healthy dinner together quickly on a weeknight.
Exactly. And the other thing is you can prep this ahead of time. You can make this in the morning or the day before and form the burgers. And then when your guests come, you just pull it out of the refrigerator and pop them on the grill.
Great.
So 4-ounce burger is about 1/2 cup. So this is really easy. If you don't mind forming the burgers for me,
I'd be glad to do that.
I'm going to measure that for you. So this is about 4 ounces or 1/2 cup.
All right. Just press those together. We have 6 burgers. This makes exactly 6.
Perfect. Exactly 6.
Okay. I can put these on the grill for you. How long do we want to cook these now?
3 minutes on each side is just right.
Okay.
You don't want to overcook the turkey breast because it's so lean, it'll be dry.
The turkey burgers are done. They absolutely smell wonderful. I can't wait to taste these, Cheryl.
Perfectly cooked.
Okay, let's dress them up.
Perfect. Okay, so how are we going to eat our burger? We could eat it protein style and wrap it up on a romaine lettuce leaf, or we can use a nice whole grain bun, which I think I'm going to do today.
Okay.
And I just wanted to give you a little tip about choosing the right bun. We see this package here that says multi-grain, and that sounds healthy, right?
Sounds healthy and delicious.
But multi-grain simply means multiple grains. They're not necessarily whole grains. In fact, there's white flour in this package. So instead, I've chosen the package that says 100% whole wheat. That tells me it's all whole grain.
That's a good tip.
That's the way we want to go.
All right.
So I'm going to open up my whole grain bun. I'm going to put a little piece of lettuce on the bottom. We're going to load this up with veggies. You can easily increase your fiber intake by 5 grams by just putting a lot of veggies on your burger here. So we've got some beautiful sliced tomatoes. I'm going to take 2 of these.
Okay.
And then if you wouldn't mind topping it with a nice burger.
Got it.
Great. Now I'm going to put a little bit, we're doing the Mexican turkey burger today, so instead of sour cream, I'm actually going to use a little bit of Greek-style yogurt, which is thick and creamy. It has the same flavor, but a fraction of the calories. I'm going to add a little bit of salsa, and give it a little zip.
Yeah, use whatever is your favorite one, I suppose.
And I'm going to top it with some sliced avocados from Mexico. So I'm going to take my half avocado here, and I'm just going to cut it in a few slices. And 3 slices has about 50 calories. And that is less than a tablespoon of mayonnaise, and you still get that creamy texture and wonderful, wonderful flavor.
Well, it just adds a little element of surprise, not the expected burger
Absolutely.
topping.
Good
Wonderful.
to go.
Looks really good.
And if we have leftover avocado and you're worried about it turning brown, I get this question all the time. I just take a little piece of plastic wrap and I put it on the cut half, and I seal it real well because the little air bubbles in there are what makes it oxidize and turn brown. So now I can stick this in the fridge and it'll stay fresh for another day or two.
Okay, that's great. So when you're doing a burger bar, it's nice to have more than one flavor of burger. We have these delicious Mexican turkey burgers, and we also have a recipe for salmon burgers. You'll find that at Dierbergs.com, and they look terrific too.
Really, really delicious and moist. And instead, we've got a lot of vegetables on here already, and instead of topping it with sliced avocado, we're going to use the Asian Avo Mayo that we made earlier today.
Okay, let me just add a little bit of that.
Just put
then.
a little dollop on there.
About like that?
Perfect.
Okay, and spread that around.
There
so that
you
will
go.
Be delicious
Beautiful.
also. Great. All right. Well, you can find the recipe for the burgers at Dierbergs.com.
And you can also find this recipe and additional tips at theamazingavocado.com.
We hope you're going to have a great time making some of these recipes at home. Cheryl, thanks so much for sharing them with us.
Thanks for having me, Barb.
It's been great to have you here in St. Louis.
It was really fun.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Marianne is going to be grilling the perfect pork chop, and she's serving it with a roasted poblano pesto, so stay tuned.